I think everybody loves a good, weird story, whether it be folklore or mythology or an urban legend. Today we're going to talk about a Disney urban legend. My name's Josh Taylor, this is Network 1901, and is Walt Disney frozen?
Bringing you everything under the Disney umbrella. Network 1901.
Recently, I chatted with Ben Lancaster about his upcoming film, The Further Adventures of Walt's Frozen Head. You could see that podcast right here, or you can see the trailer to the movie here. Right here. Either one. But it got me thinking, where did this myth of Walt Disney being frozen come from? And what's the truth behind it? So let's go over some facts. Walt Disney was diagnosed with lung cancer in 1966. To combat that lung cancer, he had one of his lungs removed. But by the time the diagnosis came, it was already too late for Walt Disney. Walt died in December of 1966, and his body was cremated. His ashes were spread across the forest lawn in Glendale, California.
That's what they want you to think!
These days when a celebrity dies, we tend to know it right away. Cameras are everywhere, and their funeral becomes public domain. But Walt's family kept his funeral private, and because of that, stories started to circulate, and the public started to become interested in more than just his death. And it wasn't really hard to connect Walt Disney to cryonics. Yes, it's called cryonics, not cryogenics, because science. During the early and mid-1960s, cryonics were being funded and researched. And only 1 month after Walt Disney died was the first person to ever be cryogenically frozen. The idea behind cryonics is so that somebody would be frozen in liquid nitrogen, basically waiting it out, so that the medical field could have a chance to catch up with whatever their ailment was. They'd have a chance to be reanimated, and the medical field could cure whatever ailment left them on their deathbed. These rumors were furthered in 1972 when Bob Nelson, the president of the California Cryogenic Society, came out and said that Walt did want to be frozen. He wanted to be preserved so that he could finish out other projects he had. And it wouldn't be that hard to think that Walt Disney would want such a thing. Walt was a pioneer of new technologies, and he was working on his Epcot experimental prototype community, a utopian city of tomorrow where we could all live in the most advanced city possible. But of course, that city never came to be, so it wouldn't be that much of a stretch to think that Walt Disney was frozen so that he could come back and create that city. Rumors continued to swirl that maybe his body was frozen in captivity underneath the Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland, an attraction that was just being built at the time of his death. Others say that he's under the Magic Kingdom waiting to come back to life. Some say that he's actually just a head now, in a glass jar. Could Walt Disney be frozen? We may never know. Personally, I think that Walt was cremated. His ashes were spread at the forest lawn. But that's just me. You might have to come up with your own opinion, and you might have some crazy conspiracy theory that matches it. The urban legend will continue on whether or not I make this video. So, comment down below, tell me what you think. Do you think Walt's frozen? Do you think he's been cremated? Do you think that he's in some kind of spaceship in the middle of the universe? I don't know, it could be anything. Comment down below, let me know what you think. And check out the podcast episode I did with Ben Lancaster about his new film, The Further Adventures of Walt's Frozen Head. And check out everything that we're doing at network1901.com, whether it be these videos, podcasts, articles. There's a bunch of us working on all types of projects. So thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon.